roasted because then it's bitter and then you need to compensate it with milk or sugar, you know. So this way is basically it will more taste like a tea, not really like a coffee, you know. So, but you can try and you will see, you can judge yourself. You can be a little bit surprised by acidity, you know, which most people don't really know. It's actually a natural part of the coffee, you know. So because coffee is not naturally bitter, we make it bitter by burning it basically. You know?
Okay.
That's how we have been drinking coffee for many generations, you know. And that is the of course not very like you know, to the farmer. Imagine a farmer working hard all year to make good coffee, and then you simply just burn it, and make it bitter, and then you need to add all of the milk and sugar and stuff like that. So
But this one is natural taste, right?
So this is natural. This is referring to the processing method of the coffee. I can showcase you different types of the processing methods about the how they different, how they taste different, how they can create the value for the farmers and stuff like that.
And after tasting, if I interested in buying, can I buy it here or coffee?
Let's see if you like the lighter one, and we will see, because normally I drink this every day, and I have.
light, right?
Yeah.
So you have to taste.
This one is lighter.
You can also try to smell it, you know, like the.
Oh, it smells good.
It's,
Did you have a medium brush?
Oh,
yeah, I have a little bit there. But
smells
normally, you know, we focus mostly on selling green bean to the roasteries, you know. So this is like just 1 kilo roasting machine. I'm mostly like roasting when the roasters or traders come here and they're deciding if the coffee wanna buy coffee, we do something which is called cupping. You know, normally this is in this kind of so that is like a coffee quality evaluation, which is same everywhere in the world. You know, like the system is same and have some kind of the rules, you know. So normally this is more like a showroom where they basically people come and they will decide if they wanna buy for the roastery or something like that, you know. So I just roasting because I'm a roaster myself, you know. just little bit, you know, to the family to understand about how the coffee tastes, you know. Because you can imagine here the ethnic minority people lives, you know, Koho people, which are not really Vietnamese people, but they have a different language, different tradition. Here is a matriarchal society, meaning the woman is the head of the family. So kids are inheriting woman name,
right?
And also woman is asking men to marry her,
Right?
So it's everything is opposite here, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Interesting.
Which is interesting. Yeah.
Milk? So another important part is, as you saw me, I grind the coffee right before we use it, you know.
Yeah.
Not keep coffee ground, because if you ground coffee after 1 hour, you're losing a lot of aromas and flavors. So should never keep the coffee ground, no matter how beautifully you package it or something like that. If you're buying 1-year-old coffee in the supermarket ground already, it will be probably already very not so good. Another thing is you can see the bubbles. So the bubbles are a sign of the fresh roasting, you know. So this is only coffee we'll do with which is roasted freshly. That's why also it's very important to see the roast date on your coffee beans, you know, because it's same like the way you eat banh mi or anything like that. You don't want a yesterday banh mi or 1 week old, right? You want a fresh coffee to enjoy the maximum flavors. You know? Good tea, and then it's now it's able to import to the Europe as well, you know. But also you have 2 different ways about how to do this, you know. So this would be the way how we do it. Is imagine you have fresh cherries. You open the cherries, you take out the seeds, right?
Yes.
And then you dry the cover, like a fruit cover, like the cherries, dry them, you know. And this would be the way about when you're doing the natural processed coffee, which would be this one, you know, which we wanna come into, you know.
Yeah.
The natural is the simplest method. This has been done for hundreds of years in Ethiopia. You take out the cherries from the coffee tree, right? And then you dry it as it is, you know. So it's called natural because you keep the whole cherry, whole layer on the beans until it's dried, and then you remove it, you know. So basically, this would be the way how it's done. Like first you do the natural, and then basically, if you ever see the process of this is like a stone, right? You can check the cherry, you know. Everybody this is almost like a stone.
It's
so
hard.
removing this layer with the machines, it's creating a lot of dust. It's really so this should not end up, in my opinion, in the tea, you know. So this would be the simple way. This is right now available everywhere in the world, mostly, you know, because people can buy it for like $5-8 a kilo, you know, like a Panama or something like that. But this is true trash, or basically something like you just remove.
Yeah, this is like the whole beans by itself.
Yeah.
You will lose the beans.
Beans inside.
Inside you have 2 beans, you know, in in every cherry, right?
Yeah.
So imagine right now this basically,
This one?
yeah. And of course, it will be full of dust. It will be full of the parchment. The parchment part will be also in there. Yeah.
cái này là cherry.
Anh không, anh nói là có 2 cách, tức là một cách là mình tách ra rồi sau đó mình sấy khô cái vỏ thôi. Hai là cái cách kia là cái cách là người ta sẽ giống như kiểu mà làm nguyên một cái quả luôn. And then did you get the seed out after this or no? Or it will be the whole tea is like this. Oh, it's like for the natural process.
No, like of course you have to take out the seeds and then you roast the seeds, you know. But this is really you need to basically
Do the whole thing,
or put it to the compost or something like that, you know.
Right.
Because this one, in my opinion, you know, like, because inside there are still many layers which will end up in the tea, you know, if you do it like this. And also, like you can imagine from the perspective, this is much more complicated to do because you have a fresh fruit, you open it, right? And then you need to dry the beans and then the tea separately, you know. So for this one, you're drying everything at the same beds, and when it's finished drying, you simply remove this and then yeah. So, and you can also see like the just compare this, it will be like a whole fruit, you know. And you can imagine this one when you're cutting out this, it's basically, you can see it's cut like this, you know.
Yep.
So it will extract completely differently, you know. So
Yeah.
so of course this is more complicated and more like, but its result is much better.
different. Yeah.
So this one you have to crack it when it was still wet, right?
Yes,
Not
when
dry,
the cherry
right?
is fresh, we have a machine which,
Fresh.
if you ever saw winemaking process, which would be crushing the grapes, it's very similar. I can actually show you that it will even have like a completely different color if you just put a little bit here.
Good experiment as well. Yeah.
Same.
And there'll be a lot of dust here as well.
But let's sit there 10 minutes and you will see that the difference of the extraction, and also maybe if you smell it or even when you drink it, you know. So it will be quite. Anaerobic means without the air, so the fermentation is done without the access on the air. So you can put it to the stainless barrels or something like that and lock it there for a long period of the time, where CO2 is creating naturally during fermentation. CO2 is heavier than oxygen, so it will go down on the bottom of the barrel and oxygen is trying to escape.